wake up. Hi, good morning. Your prefrontal cortex has developed. Let's go. Hey guys, so a little update. Hey guys, it's me Celin and I'm back, and boy have I been busy. This October I just turned 26 and I couldn't help but reflect on the previous video that I did about my early 20s and feeling like I've wasted it. And whilst I still find glimpses of the anxious and the naivete, I do feel like there has been a sudden shift in me that's very quiet but reassuring. In a flurry of multiple firsts, life-altering decisions, and just living, this shift feels sturdy. Simply put, I'm going through a transitional period. Here are 6 things that I've learned since leaving Leonardo DiCaprio's age pool. Number 1, burnouts are part of the process. This year, I was a clown. I was a clown that was sitting on a tightrope, balancing on a bouncy ball, and juggling hot coals all at the same time. I had a lot on my plate. I was studying, managing assignments, coupled with working on the weekends and also doing unpaid internships during the weekdays. And once the internships were over, I would jump back into working weekends and weekdays just to make ends meet. I know this is common for anyone who's trying to make a living for themselves, but it can take a toll on anyone. I was so close to crashing out. I don't know if this is a controversial take, but as someone who is highly expressive and a little bit reactive at times, I've come to associate burnout as a result of wanting to push yourself to greater heights. And I'm not trying to be cavalier or promote a suck it up and get back to work kind of sentiment. But I think burnouts are truly a sign of pushing your limits and broadening your threshold in juggling life and all its little fixings. So after all the screaming, crying, throwing up, kicking, thrashing, I've decided to look at it as a process as opposed to failure. As I continue to embark these annual chapters of my life, I find that my energy is not what it used to be. And I can't afford to put so much focus and energy on every little thing. I guess that's why a lot of people say you start caring less when you get older. Not for a lack of zest or enthusiasm, but just to conserve your energy. Number 2, your success is solely determined on your self-perseverance. I don't know how this fares across the 7 seas, but in Asia, our generation often gets dubbed as the strawberry generation. We're too sensitive, we're too fragile, we can't take anything under pressure, and we lack resilience. And whilst I do agree in some cases, I've been very fortunate enough to be surrounded by go-getters, big dreamers, and people who have and are making a name in life for themselves. And the one thing in common that I find, and I've got news for you guys, the bad news is that it takes more than just talent and luck to succeed. And the good news, it takes more than just talent and luck to succeed. Dare I say that was pretty wise. And what I've learned is that success doesn't come from constant motivation and constant positivity. It really comes from perseverance. You know, it's that fail fast and learn faster attitude that makes the journey worthwhile. It all sounds very easy and this sounds super TED Talk-esque, but I'm not always very graceful in this process. I cry, I whine, I complain like it's my favorite pastime, but I keep going. Because perseverance is truly the gap between who you are and who you're trying to become. I know this sounds really cheesy and overrated advice, but just keep going. I promise you, just find the reason to keep going. Keep striving, just keep going. Number 3, the art of relationship management. As someone who was raised Buddhist, I have been long taught the let them method. Mel Robbins got nothing on my parents. But in saying that, I've always tried to make a conscious effort in practicing detachment when it comes to relationships and friendships. For example, if someone wanted to leave, you can't beg them to stay. They've already made their mind up, right? So what are you gonna do? So when I was in my teens, I took the let them method to heart, and I would just let people spread rumors, say things, and do things with a strong faith of karma, a promise of evening the scores over time. Then in my young adult years, all of that bubbled into resentment, and I just let it rip. I let everyone have it. If you met Celin at that time, I'm so sorry. She was a menace.
I feel stressed. I feel sad. We're all children of Jesus.
I would burn bridges left, right, center, all over the place with no recourse or tact for my words or opinions. And I'll be frank, it was cruelty and spite disguised as honesty. Now I approach adulthood and I find that the real peace is in between. To be brave in speaking up with a soft heart and firm boundaries. To let go and still acknowledge with gratitude for every brushstroke they left in the time we had. Relationship management is as important as nurturing it, because you will come across so many different types of characters in your life. People who inspire you, people who make you feel small, people who trigger you, people who love you. And it's such a great opportunity to avail yourself to different types of points of views and to exercise that muscle of knowing your people, yet holding space for others to just be. Number 4, be ruthlessly clear when it comes to relationships. When I came to Australia, I found myself taking friendship breakups especially much more harder. And if you ask a lot of my friends back at home, I'm never like that. If you want to go, please go. I'll open the door for you. I'll give you a gift bag. I'm not someone that looks back when people have made a choice to leave. But somehow in Australia, I feel very differently. And one of my friends have brought up something interesting, and she says that it's because I've left my life in Malaysia to come here and having to essentially start making connections from scratch. Hence, the gravity of a relationship fallout would hit so much harder for me because I wouldn't have a loved one at home to cushion my fall. And I genuinely am someone that wants to give everyone a chance. But as I grew up and had my fair share of friendships, I realized that some people aren't energetically suited to you. And that's not a reflection of your self-worth or their self-worth. But if you're like me and you're a curious and open person, some people really like to feed off of that energy, and it's just like take. What I'm relearning since turning 26 is the skill of compartmentalizing your relationships. I used to be a lot more discerning when it came to people. Maybe it's because of my people pleasing, but I thought it made me a mean person by listening to my gut feeling and sticking to my guns. But I'm starting to learn that compartmentalizing doesn't mean you're mean. It just means that you are wise. I find that having clarity on where you place people also allows you to be more present and to enjoy people's presence for what they are and have gratitude for that. Number 5 is we have to 86 the negative reinforcement. It is not cute anymore. I had a discussion with a friend a while back, and we were talking about, as you become an adult, how hard it is to motivate yourself positively. Most of the time, in order to motivate yourself, we think of the worst case scenario to repel us away from the undesired outcome. One common case of such phenomena I can think of is the concept of revenge body. Working yourself to the bone by achieving your goals out of spite. And living on your own is hard enough. There's a constant self-disciplining we're trying to instill and practice, but we don't question why we utilize specific methods like inner blackmail in order to get up and do something. And I think the same way that a lot of these TED Talkers and influencers are saying that you can't talk badly about yourself, you can't speak negatively, I think this creates the same negative cycle. Because what happens after when you've achieved it through consistent negative reinforcement? You just stop. You just don't want to do it anymore because your brain has associated that motivation with so much inner hate. And right now, I find growth in the name of joy and creating to be something that sticks a lot more. We want the energy that fuels us to love, not resistance, right? Because things born out of joy tend to make you feel better. You know, it lasts longer, it resonates at a higher frequency, and it stands the test of time. Last but not least, Do the scary thing and be proud. There's an episode in a series of unfortunate events that said,
Do the scary thing first and get scared afterwards.
like everyone, I am no stranger to the knife of overthinking and analysis paralysis. I tend to talk myself out of doing things and waiting for the right time. But I recently lost a family member that was a constant in my life. And unfortunately, I wasn't able to be there in his final years because I was here trying to finish my studies. And this might sound a bit morbid, but in the eye of death, we are alive and we are with love. Death to me is a classic post-it note reminder that you see in the fridge that reminds us how fleeting life can be. And the older I get, I've seen people who have lived unapologetically, and I've also seen people who never took the plunge. And whilst I'm trying to shed my bad habit of creating pathways of excuses and intricate mind maps of preparation, I decided that life is worth starting than having left to wonder what would happen if it ever started at all. So if you take anything away from this video, please fucking start. Just start it. Do it and be proud that you did it. Be relieved that you didn't do it as badly as you thought, and laugh when it falls flat on your face. I promise you, you can forgive yourself for failing, but you can never absolve yourself of the burden from not starting at all. So my little anxiety-filled chickadees, it's gonna be okay. Everything is as it should be. There's absolutely nothing to worry about.